Wandering around with a cup of tea.
When you were playing, what did you do just before match? Did you take on some food? Did you have a banana, or were you someone who didn't want to eat at all?
No, I was pretty much of the school of thought that you shouldn't eat really 3 hours before the match, and certainly not have anything too heavy. So it's not too different to today's ideas, although fewer bananas in those days.
So still we await the players.
Quite interesting prior to the championship how few experts around the shop might have thought that Sampras was a big favourite, which is always surprising when somebody's had so much success that he could be discounted. And he did win Queens, albeit not the most in the most convincing fashion. But I think after the first round match against Scott Draper, he really showed that he is Pete Sampras, and he's here and he's going to play very seriously. And I think the men's event this year is going to be very, very interesting. Agassi also in great form.
Yeah, I was obviously at Queen's, John, and I think the key match, and maybe for the entire Sampras year, was actually the first round match there against Todd Woodbridge, where he really struggled and got home in a final set tiebreak in the first round. Now, if he'd lost his opening match at Queen's, having had a terrible year up to then, and come into Wimbledon with one grass court match under his belt, and a losing match at that, I think he really would have struggled. But certainly I revised my thoughts totally when he won Queen's. As you say, again, a final set tiebreak against Tim Henman. But we all know there's nothing like success to breed success.
Yeah, it's a fine line, isn't it? 3 times tiebreakers and final sets to win Woodbridge, Leighton Hewitt and Tim Henman. It's a very fine line, and the fact that he actually gets the nod builds the confidence in a totally disproportionate way. I mean, there's hardly a shot or two in it, but had he lost any of those matches, I agree, his confidence would have sagged. He's had quite an amount of tennis and then a nice week of practice.
Coming towards us, Sebastien Lareau. Who is currently ranked exactly 100 in the world. And New York is the battle between Queen's champions, because Sampras was winning the singles. Lareau was winning the doubles with Alex O'Brien. So let's look first at the #1 player in the world. And at the end of Wimbledon, he will equal Ivan Lendl's record of the most weeks #1. The question is, of course, can he hang on to that at the end of the championship? For example, if he were to lose this match, he would drop to #6 in the world.
Stop of the day, rolls on his backside, gets up
champion,
and plays the perfect block.
It's huge points, but just look at that Grand Slam record. 2 Australians, 5 Wimbledons, 4 US Opens, adds up to 11, just one short of Roy Emerson's all-time record. The one missing part, the French Open. And I wonder, John, the fact that Andre Agassi pipped him and became the 5th man after Emerson, Laver, Budge and Perry to win all 4 might have riled him a little bit.
Yeah, he's probably not slept a wink since then. But interesting, and it's very nice to see how modest the players are at the top, because Andre said this is the one thing I might have over Pete Sampras. So he obviously holds Pete in very, very high esteem. He's not suggesting for a second that his record matches Pete Sampras, but the one thing that he does have over Sampras is that he has now won all 4 championships including the French, which there's been a number of players in recent times who have won all of the majors bar the French. Jimmy Connors had won all of the other three, but couldn't win the French. McEnroe was unable to win the Australian also. Blew his chance against London in the final. 2 sets to love up to win the French.
We're talking of Lendl, he won everything else apart from here. Verlander won everything else, won 3 in a year, but couldn't win here. Borg couldn't win the US Open. It's remarkable how many great players. Edberg and Becker missed the French.
Yes.
So Sebastien Lareau, 26. He was born in Montreal, now lives in Quebec. And highest at 76, which he reached in 95. And you can see his best ever Grand Slam result, reaching the 3rd round of the Australian Open last year, and twice before has reached this stage of Wimbledon. And of course the winner of this match will go on to play Britain's Danny Sapsford. If Lareau is to have any chance, John, what's he got to do?
I would think I was going to be tripping in the knee on the change of ends, but he's not a bad player, and he's probably at his best on faster courts, and possibly even at his very best on grass. But his chances, you know, are really just very, very slim. If he plays his very best, he might win a set. But strange things happen here at Wimbledon, and if the match becomes close, and Pete Sampras will become tentative and lose his normal ability to hit winners and go for shots in the most uninhibited way, it could become very close, and then anything could happen.
Confirmation that their one previous meeting was in Hong Kong in 1996 on the hard court there.
And interestingly, Lareau won a set there at 6-1 with Sampras lost concentration in subset at 6-3.
On the verge of new territory. He's never been to the 3rd round at Wimbledon before. He's got 2 match points.
Court, 3 sets to 1. 6-3, 3-6, 6-4, 6-2.
Paul Ramsey, who's been coaching Big Sampras for some time now. The late Tim Gates and stepped down by brain cancer.
It's interesting to really call him the coach of the world's greatest player and possibly the greatest tennis player of all time. Probably some other term would be more appropriate. It's not like he's teaching him how to hit a forehand or a backhand or telling him how to play, but he certainly does play a very key role in keeping Pete's mind focused, in being very intimately aware of his game and seeing if there's any little things that are needing attention as a bouncing board for possible tactics.
Mohamed Lidyani he hails originally from Morocco, has then spent a lot of time in Sweden, but he's just getting married to a Spanish lady and moving to Spain, so he's travelling the world almost as much as tennis players. It's a truly worldwide game, isn't it? I think, just going back to Paul Ramsey, I think Martina Hingis found to her great cost yesterday that it's pretty necessary to have someone in your corner out there that you can at least glance at in moments of crisis and know that there's someone who is pulling for you.
Sets to 1. 6-2.
Having a little sit down, a little drink.
3 sets to 1. 6-2.
but strange. Both players are now going to have a sit down and a rest.
Tiring warm-up.
This has happened ever since they increased the warm-up from 3 minutes to 5 minutes. I know I feel exactly the same way when we're playing with veterans after about 2.5 minutes. A terrific round of applause welcoming the players back onto court.
Ready? Play. $15 love. $30 love. $30-15.
Not a bad second serve, probably the best second serve in the game. Beautifully met by Lareau, jamming Maddie's feet on the service line.
40-15. Game Sampras. First game.
Impressive opening service game from Sampras, who was put into bat by Sebastien Lareau, who won the spin of the coin and elected to receive. I suppose it's one of the lovely debates we love to have as to, is Sampras the greatest of all time? Was it Laver? Some people say Hode at his prime. You've got a personal view?
Well, you know, it's only personal prejudice if you have a view one way or another. I think the interesting thing is when you have two great players who play in exactly the same period of time, it's very hard to separate them. Who was the better player, Laver or Rose? Well, I can give a very strong argument one way or the other. Or Smith or Nastasi when they played.
Time.
And so to try to say that one player is better from one era to another is quite futile. But certainly Pete Sampras's record, I think, is just about as good as it comes. Laver has the edge in that
Lareau
he scored 2 Grand Slams, one of them in the amateur days, which have to be discounted. But Pete's had a lot of competition and done very, very well.
$15 love. Out. 30 love. $30-15.
The backhand will be a key for Sampras throughout the championships because most players will attack it, feeling it's the weaker wing. And come up with returns like that, they may have to rethink.
30 out.
Ball low. Lareau not being able to put a lot of aggression into the volley, leaving far too much room up the line for Sampras, who makes the passing shot very comfortably. So Sebastien in a little trouble. First time at serve at 30 all.
(40-30). One game.
Like the way Lareau moved forward then after the half volley, really closed in on the net.
(15 love). (15 all). (30-15).
Well, Lareau's not done too much in this game. 2 aces and 1 double. He's walked from side to side.
Well, Pete Sampras just loves doing this.
14-15.
The super dunk, the slam dunk.
Game Sampras. Sampras leads 2-1, first set.
Well, you heard a little roar because it was brilliantly fielded.
An Australian in the crowd. I couldn't resist. Sorry, David.
I wonder if we can cut off John Alexander's microphone. No, I was actually going to suggest Jonty Rhodes from South Africa. What a fielder he is.
Yes. Yeah, one of the Australian boys taught him how to do that. But back to the tennis. It is interesting to look at this match from Sebastien Lareau's point of view. And he's actually started quite well. Looked reasonably dangerous on the return of serve and held his own serve well. And as you mentioned, David, he really collected that final volley on the game point to secure his own serve. He was moving in.
Time.
Weight behind the ball. The ball fairly exploded off his racket. And he's staying calm. He's not going onto the court as if he doesn't think he can win. He's playing quite optimistically, a good frame of mind. And I guess he's got to look at it. He's got nothing to lose. No one would accuse this of being a bad loss for him.
Oh. 15 love.
Well-structured point. The first
15
one not
all.
designed to win the point, just dipping and moving Lareau to the side of the court. And from three-quarter court, lots of room towards the backhand and safely for the winner. Head stayed down throughout the hit. Could pick up on the half volley, a little bit of luck, but look how quick Pete was recovering from the return. So his momentum took him to the ball quite comfortably. Lareau very good on the volley.
$40-30. Game Lareau. Two games all.
Sebastien Lareau staying on level terms then in this opening set.
$15 love.
Out!
15 all.
Second double fault.
$30-15. $40-15.
$127 an hour, that ace.
Game Sampras. Sampras leads 3-2, first set.
So Sampras really playing very well in this opening set. Long way to go in the match, of course. But Sampras it is, who leads by 3-2 games going with serve so far. Best of 5, of course. And the winner of this match will advance to play Britain's Danny Sapsford. Sampras leads 3-2.
Pete Sampras really playing beautiful tennis at this point, early stage of the match. It's quite interesting. Virtually every ball he hits seems to have some weight on it. You can really hear the impact.
Time.
Really powerful off both sides. He's the most complete player. He volleys well and his serve is absolutely phenomenal. Very good athlete. Moves around the court beautifully, very agile, particularly on the jump smash, which he really likes. Slam dunking the short ball. Lareau serving now. 2-3.
Love 15. $15 all.
First ace from Sebastien Lareau.
Let for serve. $15-30.
Wasn't expecting such a good forehand from Sampras, who'd been wrong-footed.
$15-40.
First break points.
Game, Sampras.
Finds the line, and Sampras breaks.
Sampras leads 4-2. $15 love. $30 love. $40 love.
Ace number 4, that time at 128 miles an hour.
Let for serve. Game, Sampras. Sampras leads 5-2. First set. New balls, please.
So Sampras consolidating.
And David, this is an interesting game, isn't it, in that we place so much importance on being orthodox and not having any weaknesses. But if you compare Sampras to previous greats, he's probably the exception to the rule in that he is quite an orthodox and complete classical player. There's quite a number of recent great players have had quite glaring weaknesses or lack of strength. If you look at Mats Wilander, he didn't have an outstanding shot, certainly didn't have an outstanding serve. Bjorn Borg, I think, had won Wimbledon 3 or 4 times before he really became a competent volleyer. Jimmy Connors, not the biggest serve in town, a little bit reluctant to go to the net except to shake hands. And
time.
Now, what weakness are you going to come up with for John McEnroe?
John McEnroe.
The mind.
Is he listening?
Probably.
but maybe not quite so strong from the back of the court in a clay court situation. He was a very complete player also. Lareau serving. 2-5, first set.
Out. 15 love.
Out.
30 love. $40 love.
Second ace from Lareau.
Lareau. Sampras leads 5 games to 3.
That's a good response from Sebastien Lareau. Having lost the 3 previous games, comes up with a love service game, but now his problem, of course, how does he break the Sampras serve?
Love 15. $15.
Starting to make some telling returns.
This really is a beautiful return.
15-13.
Good quality second serve, just inches inside the service line. It certainly had something on it. It was 109 miles an hour.
Wait, please.
Lareau hitting it right from the baseline. 15-30. No, David, you didn't think he could break back, but this is as good a forehand as you will see hit. Just skimming the top of the net and hitting right on the line. This was a beautifully played volley by Sampras. He'd closed in very well, largely covering the line.
Well, that's a marvellous return game.
And the reason
Sampras leads 5 games to 4. First set.
Missed the half volley so comprehensively was a string broke. And the tension goes out of the racket very quickly, and on the half volley the ball just trampolines off the strings and went long, and there's the Sampras serve broken. Pete Sampras has just about the tightest re-strings on the tour, much like Bjorn Borg in his day, done with gut, and a very, very fine gauge, which means the strings will wear out that much quicker. But he's got a little bit of pocket money. He can generally afford a restring.
Yes, a little bit of pocket money, prize money. He's earned just over $36 million, and then you can probably treble that for all the endorsements and exhibitions and appearance money. As you say, he could afford to restring everybody's racket in the world, I suspect.
Well, is he happy though? Paul Annacone just taking it all in, and he must really have appreciated Sebastien Lareau's game in that previous game. He really played some magnificent winners. 4-5. Game's back on serve.
Oh. 15 love.
Seeing some sensational running all of a sudden.
And Lareau hit one just like this in the previous game, and so Sampras here to show him that he can do it also. The one for Sampras was quite a bit easier than Lareau's. Beautiful running forehand, and Sampras will do many more.
Oh. 15-30.
I'm interested that Lareau is directing quite a few of the serves at the Sampras forehand, so he's prepared to take on the strength.
(40-30). Deuce. Advantage Lareau.
Third ace at 121 miles an hour.
And this forehand volley from the service line not able to be penetrating enough. Sampras gets set and rips the ball up the line. This classic action. Nice early backswing. Long follow through. His weight falling back.
Advantage Sampras.
There's this beautiful compact action on the forehand. Another winner.
And it's set point.
Yemen first set, Sampras. Six game to 4.
A set of 3 service breaks, and Sampras playing some beautiful ground strokes off
second
both
set,
wings.
Sampras to serve.
To secure the second break and the set.
15 love.
Well, he didn't think so. What's going to be our verdict? missed.
May have got just a grain or two. You never know.
You know, I'd never thought of Australians as being
15
pedantic before, John.
(30-15). 40-15. Sampras. First game, second set. First set, Sampras.
Well, I guess when you've been the champion 5 times, you're entitled to get the odd lucky bounce. But I was interested, and throughout this match, he's getting a very warm reception, Sampras, from the crowd. We've got a terrific ovation when he came onto court. And out here on court number 1, the less of the... There's still some corporate seats, but there are less of them, more of, I can quote, genuine fans. And for years, Sampras has been labelled as boring, but I think the real tennis fans appreciate his skills and his talents.
Yeah, I think it's such an unkind thing to say about Pete, because he is everything that you would wish for in a champion. He is a valiant loser, he is courageous, he is a modest winner, he is sporting, he's very funny. I think he's got a very gentle, pleasant way about him. He is a real ornament to the game. He plays the most magnificent tennis. He gives credit to other people. He's very generous. He's got charity coming out of his veins, and he assists all sorts of underprivileged kids and participates in the ATP charities. There is a lot to like about him, and if you can find something you don't like about Pete Sampras, give me a call and I'll fight you.
Love 15. Love 30.
Beautiful economy of movement, just taking the racket straight back. That exaggerated backhand grip, hitting straight through, slightly over the flight of the ball.
First serve. Love 40.
He who hesitates. 3 break points.
Game Sampras. Sampras leads 2 games to love.
Give this man time on the pass and you're in trouble, and I think that's one of the problems, is that Lareau doesn't perhaps quite have the pace on the serve or on the penetration on the volley, and Sampras able to pick his spot.
$15 love. $30 love. $40 love. Sampras. Sampras leads 3 games to love, second set, number 1 set to love.
Well, Pete Sampras in full flight, really playing with confidence. Beautiful serve deep to the backhand and just coming in and dispatching this volley with some real power control. He really just appears to be flushed with confidence after his success at Queen's Club. His hard-earned success there, and I'm sure winning his opening round against a quality player in Scott Draper the way he did has further fortified his confidence. It is in absolute full flight today, hitting the ball beautifully off the ground. His return of serve is good, albeit not against the biggest server in the world. But well, it's got reasonable pace. The one serve going over 120 miles per hour. And Sampras really enjoying his match, and certainly enjoying the crowd support, which he richly deserves. Lareau serving. Love 3, and he has lost the first set 6-4.
Love 15. $15.
That ends a sequence of 11 straight points he'd lost.
$15-30.
Well, I would have thought Sebastien Lareau would be kicking himself for letting that lob bounce and then just playing a rallying backhand. Surely he had to play the smash.
Love 30. Love 30.
Drilling this backhand down the line, and Sampras just a little bit past full stretch, not quite getting enough racket on the ball to really control it.
40-30.
Oh, it helps if your complete mishits land on the baseline.
Game, Lareau. Sampras leads 3 games to 1.
And a good sympathetic hand for Sebastien Lareau as he ends a sequence of 4 lost games in a row. After 40 minutes, Sampras completely in the driving seat at a set and 3-1.
Left for serve. Fifteen love. $30 love.
The aces are piling up, 9 now. And that's a very fast serve because that was going out wide, and it's generally regarded the radar gun is quicker down the centre.
40 love.
Magnificent return from Lareau off a high quality serve, just blocked it, the ball coming back nearly as quickly as it went. Sampras almost.
Sampras. Sampras leads 4 games to 1, second set, number 1 set to love.
Well, he really is playing superbly well, Sampras, and of course on grass, if you can get a high percentage of first serves in, it's such a bonus when you've got a serve of his quality, and that's precisely what he's doing today. Anything over 60% is terrific, over 70 is fantastic.
Yes, that really is, and quite unusual, because often over the course of a season, Sampras is just around about 50% of first serves in. He's got a very high percentage of success rate on the first serve. Let's see that 89%, 45% on the second serve. That was up from 33% earlier. And Sebastien Lareau, it really makes no difference whether he gets a first or second serve, and he's only winning about 50% of the points on serve. And those statistics this time, rather graphic illustration of the play itself. Lareau serving 1-4.
Love 15.
Almost surprised himself there, judging by his own reaction.
Hey. 15 on. Left for serve. $15-30.
Just shy of the service line for the first volley, so it didn't point at all. Just over the service line, and Sampras takes his time, measures it either way. pressing on Lareau serve.
Third two.
Finds the line.
30-40.
Just the little block back this time, and just inside the baseline. Another break point for Sampras.
Deuce.
First time in the match, Lareau's managed to save a break point.
Advantage Lareau.
And Sampras committed absolutely everything into the backhand, hurled himself with the ball.
Lareau. New balls, please. Sampras leads 4 games to 2. Second set.
Out!
15 love.
Call the fraction late because the centre service judge was taking evasive action first.
Another beautiful combination of serve and volley. This game.
Fortila.
Well, whether he thought it was a let or something like that, quite extraordinary.
40-15.
There's some misunderstanding here. Sampras just obviously didn't believe the ball was in play.
Game, Sampras. Sampras leads 5 games to 2. Second set. Number 1 center love.
It's quite extraordinary because he thwacked the ball, and again I don't think it was too far away from the line judge, and you might have got into a situation where Pete Sampras gets a code violation. They don't happen too often.
No, but the umpire here just sort of going over what happened, and did Sampras believe the serve was long, which appears the case, and then he realises the ball's in play and he's got to do something, and so he let go with a bit of temper. And there's the line judge, who's was previously of a darker shade. He's lost a little colour from his face. Pete Sampras is gathering most of the towel on his face because he's got a 2 hours plus of 5 o'clock shadow. Well, from the time he was about 16, he used to have a 5 o'clock shadow by lunchtime. Swarthy type. Lareau serving 2-5.
$15 love.
Service return, but even the mishits are going in today for Sampras.
$15-30.
Yes, worth looking at again. He didn't miss this by much.
Beautifully struck backhand, just fading wide. Another forehand winner at full stretch and driving it back across court. Contact action, taking the ball early, and this is still in at set point.
Love.
Game and second set, Sampras. Six game to 2.
So, as in the first set, Sampras breaks to secure the second set. And after less than an hour, 2 sets to love and heading for the third round.
Second serve just straying into the forehand. It wasn't very deep and not particularly well directed. And Lareau jumps on it, scores the winner.
She took a nasty blow from that serve.
15.
Second winner this game off the return of serve, sticking inside the baseline. And a little bit of a a chance on the Sampras serve. There hasn't been many.
30.
Sampras serve for the second time in the match.
Lareau. First game, third set. Sampras leads 2 sets to love.
Tremendous game by Sebastien Lareau, and nobody would begrudge the success here. He really went for it. Knows that there's no future in just playing the ball back consistently to Pete Sampras. Sampras jammed here on the half volley. Got it back at beyond three-quarter court, which is excellent. And then Lareau really taking courage in both hands, ripping the ball across court right on the line, raising some chalk. So, pretty happy with that. He did break Sampras, and Sampras was serving for the first set. But other than that, there's been very little chance for Sebastien Lareau. And it's good to see that he's got that competitive spirit, even when he's down 2 sets to love against the world's #1 player, one of the greatest players of all time, that he's playing with a full heart and really getting the most out of this experience, which is something that he'll take with him forever. And they can go to play the kids in the game. People got the way you play Pete Sampras at Wimbledon.
6-7, 6-2.
Leading 1-love, down 2 sets to love.
Love 15.
Sampras a few times has caught the ball off the centre and it's gone in, but that's not just luck. The structure of his shot is such that the face of the racket is going out towards the target, so even when he gets off centre hit, it's largely going to be going towards where he wants the ball to go.
15-30.
Sweet touch.
I think the sweet touch, David, helped with a little bit of off-centre hit here. Let me see. Only just a little bit off-centre, which just deadens the impact. Beautifully played in any case. Struggling on serve, 30-all.
Let for serve.
It's an interesting situation. Sampras with all the room down the line. Lareau remained to the left of the centre line. The rule of net players that you cover the line. Always cover the line that the ball, on which side of the ball is on.
Game Lareau. Lareau leads 2 games to love.
Did well to hold that service game from love 30.
Oh. 15 love. Love.
Ace number 12.
Let for serve. Love. Wait, please.
Oh, well,
15.
A human from time to time. 40 love, easy volley. Mine was walking to the net already.
Let for serve. Forty 30. Game Sampras. Lareau leads 2 games to 1, third set. Sampras leads 2 sets to love.
Now, John, a couple of minutes ago, you were talking about Sampras making his miss hits. I sort of thought I was getting what you were getting at, but would you like to illustrate it further?
Well, with the aid of video replay, the idea that in a well-constructed shot is that you get the racket behind the ball and then the racket face follows through on the intended line of flight of the ball. And you can see very clearly that's exactly what Pete Sampras's racket face does there. It's following the intended line of flight of the ball. So even when he's hit the ball off centre, which he quite distinctly did there, hitting it off the lower part of the frame, the ball still, for all intents and purposes, goes pretty much towards where the swing is hitting. And you generally find players with good technique. Look at the racket beautifully behind the point of impact there in the impact zone. The miss hit actually forced the racket to turn a little bit in his hand as he made impact, but the racket face continuing toward the target. So the follow through is literally that, following through on the intended line of flight of the ball secures the shot in case of a mistime. Other players with possibly more talent think they can flash the head of the racket through the ball. They'll have some good days and they'll have some bad.
Love 15.
Good solid backhand this one. right on the line. Beautifully blocked again, the racket head going through the impact zone.
A
good return of serve from outside of the court, but too much area left and the angle being exploited by the forehand volley. 15 all. This time the forehand return of serve winner down the line.
Very
close. Nice volley, just playing for depth and covering the line, and beautifully struck by Pete Sampras straight down the line, just veering wide.
Lareau.
Holding on to his lead, closing in very, very quickly, more than halfway between the service line and the net, and then wrong footing Sampras back into the backhand corner as he was striving to make the centre ground. Sampras trailing 1-3. He leads 2-1. Good movement by Lareau, and not to be outdone, Pete Sampras, his agility at the net, absolutely perfect.
13 up.
Sampras stuck with the short ball, not quite adjusting his movement toward the net. And this two-handed backhand with the topspin dipping awkwardly, forcing Sampras to half volley at the full stretch.
40-15. First serve. Game Sampras. Lareau leads 3 games to 2. Third set, Sampras leads 2 sets to Lareau.
15th ace for Sampras, but he's still a breakdown.
But he's not only a big server, he has hit some beautiful passing shots, and his return of serve has been absolutely at its best today. There's the passing winners, 5-2, a handy lead over Lareau, and his return of serve, especially off the forehand, has been outstanding from the first court, cross court and down the line. A huge advantage there, 14-3. The serving is the outstanding thing. There's 15 aces, He's winning 87% of the time when his first serve goes in. Lareau only returning 26% of his first serves.
Time.
Nice crowd staying on court one, quite different to the crowd on the centre court, which often leaves for afternoon tea. Those corporate types, these are the real fans. Lareau serving. Leading 3-2 with a break in the third set.
Love 15.
Chalk up another return of serve winner for Sampras.
Love 30.
Really picking up this very awkward half volley very, very nicely. He's really got a theory that Sampras prefers to go across court on the backhand. He might be right, because several times when he's gone down the line, he's been wide.
30. (30-40).
Sampras with the opportunity to get back on the serve.
Game Sampras.
And that was rather a rash move.
Third set.
By Lareau serving to the Sampras forehand. He has to be aware how many winners have come from that side on such a critical point. Rather a rash choice. Pays the penalty. Games are back on serve. 3-all.
Love. (15-0). (30-15).
Sampras broken a string on the first serve, so quite glad to see the first serve actually missed. But he does have it very tightly strung with very thin gut, as John Alexander was saying earlier, and he'll get through 3 or 4 a game.
I don't think he'd be too happy with 2 restrings going, because he'd be concerned about the quality of the gut, that they're going so quickly. He wouldn't want this to happen at critical stages in later rounds.
40-15. Game Sampras. New balls, please. Sampras leads 4-3, third set, and by 2 sets to love.
So Sampras seemingly has recovered from the slight hiccup at the start of this set, losing his serve. And looking ahead in the draw, Danny Sapsford awaits. Lovely way for Danny, who's retiring after Wimbledon, to end his career, but I don't think people will exactly be losing too much sleep over that. And the seed in his section of the draw, Felix Mantia, has gone out today to Paul Goldstein. Competent enough player, but not someone to threaten Sampras. But then suddenly gets to the quarters, likely to be either Philippoussis or Rosetsky. To possibly play Henman in the semis starts to get rather more difficult then.
Yes, it really is. Well, I guess both halves of the draw are tough, but I think there's a lot of people who would see Philippoussis as a very dangerous player. He's got Andrei Medvedev in the top part of the 16 there, who played so well in France, but never really has done well here at Wimbledon. Karol Kuchera also in that top part of the draw. Evgeny Kafelnikov, whose form hasn't been good since winning in Australia. Sampras, I think, really is remaining the man to beat. Lareau serving with new balls, trailing 3-4 and 2 sets to love.
Love 15. $15.
Such a complete player, returning well off the forehand and the backhand. In his speed about the court, he got up to this one very comfortably and then could have gone either way. Lareau had to guess, and so he guessed that he would hook it, just making Sampras play the slightly more awkward of the two with his grip, the off forehand.
I think even he enjoyed that one.
It's the part of his game that really has developed from the earliest times of his success. His forehand is just one of the great shots the game has seen. A slice backhand, not really penetrating and nowhere near wide enough. And Lareau still competing with all he's got. Saves a break point. Still faces one more.
Sampras
I think he really liked this one because he's hit a few good ones across court, only one or two down the line successfully, and this one just magnificently played. A classic action. Turns his shoulders right around, early preparation with the racket, and he knew the moment he hit it that was what he wanted, and he is really happy with the way he's hitting the ball and his form. Second round.
15 love.
Sixteen aces as Sampras serves for a place in round 3.
$30 love.
Performing to the very limits of his abilities. Rematch, please.
Set match Sampras. 3 sets to love. 6-4, 6-2, 6-4.
Hello and a warm welcome to day one of the highlights of the last Wimbledon of the 20th century. I'm Simon Green. Tried all the waiting for the 1999 championship.
Shy little grin almost there from Sampras.
But mostly
The odds
sunny.
were short on him at the start of the championships. The way he's playing, they'll be shortening
In
by the
Lareau's
second.
event, the youngsters were
I
expected
think
to
he
really
was
make
very,
their mark.
very happy
The Ireland
with
wasn't
the wins in the first and the second round. Could not have played better. Had a tiny little lapse on
Seedings were
serve,
top
but
of the
got a
list.
break in the
Martin
second
Hingis
set.
seeded
One of the
two,
things
the 7
that
times against the
Solomon says about Grand Slam events, he said you can't win them in the first week, but you can certainly lose them and you can get eliminated,
Serena
or you
Williams
can have
not
such
taking
tough
her place
matches
because
that you're
of
virtually
injury.
eliminating yourself, and then
So
you have a
Anna
chance to
Kournikova sneaks in as the number 17 seed. Last year, Pete Sampras won his 11th Grand Slam title here, his 5th Wimbledon. Since then, he's had a barren time.
Then
He's still seeded one though in front of Patrick Rafter, who could go number 1 in the world if he reached the 4th round here. And number 3, Yevgeny Kafelnikov of Russia. Number 4, the former champion Andre Agassi, and lower down Greg Ruzetsky seeded 9 in front of the finalists from last year, Goran Ivanisevic. But now we go out to the centre court and see the entrance of the two guys who've won Queens for the last 2 years, Pete Sampras and Scott Draper. Draper ranked 75, 25 years old, the winner of